Well, hello, mamas. Jessica Coulter here. We are talking about part 2 of summer learning. We're focusing on the idea here of stress reduction techniques of mindfulness. So I am curious. This is so important, especially right at the end of a semester as we go into summer. If your child got really sick and stressed out during finals week. So I want to know down below, yes or no, is your teen a kiddo that gets so stressed that he gets sick? Maybe it happened this most recent semester. Let me know down below, because if that's what's happening, if your child is so stressed out, not managing that anxiety, that cortisol, which causes the stress, we definitely are going to have a teen who is much easier, much more possible to get sick. So we're talking about that now. Do know I'd love to have you as a follower and as a subscriber, as we're live YouTube and Facebook right now, and this is not the last video in the series. All right, so as you're telling me yes or no if your kiddo got sick because probably of stress, do know today there's pretty much 4 categories of things, of hobbies, of activities for your teen to do to try out, figure out what is it that your child can do this next semester as part of his or her normal routine, and especially go to during finals week. So that way we have some way of, okay, I'm freaked out or really worried or there's all this stuff to do, but I can do this instead and feel calmer, feel more ready, feel more relaxed. Okay, so number one thing your teen can do is something related to a physical activity. Now, this could be something like exercise, something as simple as going for a run. It can be something more, like being part of a team, some kind of athletic team. It could also be something fun, like your teen just likes to dance around the house. It could also be something like I did the other day when I needed some frustrations out and some stress out, and I did some manual labor. I ripped up the kitchen floor. So obviously, not always home improvement projects available, but there's probably something hands-on, physical that your teen can do, whether it's destroying something or, just getting something done that needs to be done. And, it's okay to be a little rough with it. So definitely do know physical activity is an option. Now, the reason this is summer learning is your teen needs to have a go-to by the time fall rolls around. So maybe your teen, is very active. Okay, what is it that your teen enjoys doing? And are there new things for your teen to try this summer? So it kind of ties into learning is, okay, what's new that I haven't done before? Or maybe a new level of it. Maybe your teen's always done this type of dancing. What's a new type of dancing? Or maybe I've only ever played this sport. Well, why not try this sport? Okay. And the idea here is so that way when the new semester rolls around, your teen knows, okay, when I do this activity, I feel better. I can literally feel the stress kind of melting. Like your teen literally can go, okay, to get ready for study time, I need to do this. Okay. The other thing you can do, your teen can do, the second thing to really kind of help with the stress is something creative. Okay. Maybe your child is like me and some of the students I work with, and, we love art. So maybe there's some art project for your teen to start that might be really, really big and might be something your teen does for several months. Or it could be, what's a new technique? What's something your teens always want to try that she never has, that again can become a new favorite and a go-to during the school year. Okay, now I would say that music also qualifies as a creative, kind of mindful stress reduction technique. So maybe your teen just needs to figure out, okay, where's my favorite place to listen to music, or what do I do while calming myself and listening to my playlist. Okay. 2 more ideas to share with you. Before I do, just want to say hey to everybody watching here on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much. Would love to talk to you. Would love to talk to your teens. So if you're interested in a free talk with Jessie, where we can really talk about your teens' study habits and this whole thing called learning, whether it's during the school year, during the summer, or even just anytime there's a learning opportunity, be sure to go to the link in my bio to schedule that talk with Jessie. All right, so I promised you 2 more ideas, 2 more categories for the stress reduction. The first one, or if you want to say number 3 total here, would be some kind of social component. Maybe you've got a teen that loves hanging out with her friends, or you've got a teen, a college student that just really needs someone to rant with, someone to, empathize with. Again, that's totally fine. That's a great reduction, a way for your teen to, again, go from, oh my goodness, so much to do, and oh my goodness, what am I possibly got myself into, to, oh, I talked it with, my best friend, or, he totally got it. And again, your teen feels better. So last thing to mention here, when we're talking about stress reduction, we're talking about mindfulness. The go-to when you talk about mindfulness a lot of times has to do with nature. Okay, so it can be something like, doing yoga outside, doing meditations outside, going for a walk outside. It can also be just something literally about the sunshine, something literally just about being quiet outside, sitting on the porch, or, at a park, and just literally listening to the sounds of nature, feeling the sun. That can be very restorative, very calming, very anxiety reducing. So those are some ideas for you to definitely share with your teen. And if your child has not tried some of these things, and like I said, especially if your teen was sick during finals week, highly, highly recommend that your teen try something, maybe multiple somethings this summer, figures out, this was kind of fun, or, oh, yeah, that's something I could easily do. Again, we want your teen to practice this, make those decisions, figure out what works and what he's interested in. So that way we don't ever get to the point where we're stressed out, overwhelmed, anxiety-filled next semester. We have our go-to stress reduction technique. And as needed, maybe your teen needs to change it, update it, move on to a new interest, and that's okay. But this is something I encourage your teens to do this summer before the school year starts again. So thanks so much for watching. Remember, would love to talk to you, love to talk to your teen. There is a link in the bio, and then make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, because there will be a part 3 to this series. Thanks so much, parents. Have a great night.